They say dating apps are a numbers game. Well, his profile said 28, but his face said 82. Here is the story of how I accidentally went on a date with a literal grandfather. After my disaster double date with the bromance, I gave Tinder another look. Liam, 28. The photos were good, suspiciously good. In one, he was laughing on a sailboat. In another, he was hiking up a mountain, looking all rugged and adventurous. Then you had the classic blurry group shot where he was, conveniently, the hottest one. We start talking, and the conversation is amazing. Like, shockingly good. He used full sentences and perfect grammar. I thought, wow, he's intelligent. A lost art. He was a little formal, sure, but I figured he was just well-read, a rare find. The fantasy was writing itself. He told me he loved adventure and travel. I'm picturing us hiking through Patagonia. He's picturing, well, we'll get to that. The only weird thing was his cultural references were a little off. I'd bring up a new show and he'd just go, sounds fascinating. I'd mention a meme and he'd be like, how delightful. I just assumed he was too busy living his amazing, adventurous life to be chronically online like me. The naivety. We arranged to meet at a nice restaurant. I get to the restaurant a few minutes early, grab a table, and watch the door, waiting for my 28-year-old dreamboat to walk in. A few minutes pass. A guy who looks about 28 walks in. My heart leaps, and he walks right past me to meet someone else. False alarm. 10 minutes pass. I'm getting nervous. Did I mess up the time? Am I being stood up? I pull out my phone to check his messages, and I see a figure approaching my table out of the corner of my eye. I hear this very slow, shuffling sound getting closer. I look up, and there, standing in front of me, is a very, very old man. He has a full head of white hair, more wrinkles than a Shar-Pei, and he's leaning on a walker with tennis balls on the feet. And my first genuine, honest-to-God thought was, oh, that must be Liam's grandfather, right? Like, maybe Liam was running late and sent his sweet grandpa to keep me company. Or maybe Liam got into a horrible, face-altering accident on the way here, and this is his grandpa breaking the news. An accident would have been a better explanation. He looks at me, his eyes twinkling behind thick glasses, and says in a shaky voice, "Are you Jade?" My brain just stopped. All I could do was nod, mouth wide open. I was screaming on the inside. This was not happening. He gives me this wide, gummy smile and says, "Wonderful to finally meet you. I'm Liam." The silence that followed was physically the loudest sound I have ever heard. I swear my soul left my body for a second. I just stared. At him. At this man who was old enough to collect Social Security before my parents were even born. After what felt like an hour, I managed to squeak out the only thing my brain could think of. "You look mature." And he, without a hint of irony, chuckles and pats my hand. Ah, yes. 28 in spirit, my dear. Age is just a number, isn't it? So I do what any polite and deeply horrified person would do. I stay. I don't know why. Shock, maybe? Or just a morbid curiosity to watch the train wreck unfold. Get this. He tells me his grandkids set up the dating profile for him as a joke. They thought it would be a fun way for Gramps to get back out there. They apparently just grabbed photos from his glory days, we're talking 1978, and typed in 28 as his age. He kept using slang that went out of style with the Charleston, calling our chat groovy and referring to me as a real doll face. It was the most surreal experience of my entire life. I barely survived the dinner. Right now, I'm back at Maya's house. We are currently snuggled under a giant fleece blanket on her couch, eating ice cream straight from the tub, trying to process that I just had a romantic evening with a man whose prime dating years happened during the Carter administration. Oh, and speaking of disasters, you absolutely don't want to miss what Damon has gotten himself into next. The big question is, will he need Ben to rescue him from his upcoming date, or can he actually handle this one solo? Trust me, it's going to be hilarious. If you've ever dodged a dating app disaster, or walked right into one like I did, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss Damon's chaos. Share this with the bestie who keeps you sane. And drop your worst catfish story in the comments so I know I'm not alone.